All right, welcome again to another section. Now let's build our income. We've built our income statement. Then with this same income statement, we can from there we can build progress to our cash flow statement and our balance sheet. But before we go there, I quickly want us to build a another type of dashboard using this data. So let's start. Um, let me add another column here. Let me add this will be type, and this is the income statement. Yeah, now let me make this um and make this let me make this one. Well, let me make it. Okay, let me make and center it. Okay, now we now have the targets. I want to add another section. We have the ratios. All these financial ratios. Assuming we have a target, so we add ratios and targets to it. So for ratios and targets, so we look at some we look at the gross profits, look at gross profit margin. We take a look at the expense ratio. We also have to look at net profit, net profit margin. Meanwhile, in some other places you might see it as a return of sales. So now look at the any before income and tax margin. um Yeah, I think we have this. Assuming now let's look at another one. Assuming we have a target. Let's say we have a target income. Mhm. And we have another one, target achieved. Mhm. Uh-oh, achieved. Okay, now we have target expense, because this for budgeting, and we have um expense achieved. Wow. So now let me take this one off and merge. Let me make them, and yeah, okay. I think we are good. Now our dashboard is looking good. I think we can take this. Let me make it this around. Okay, so our dashboard is really looking the way we want it to look. So now, since we have this, let me think I have to log this. Let me log this. Let me freeze this pen. So so for this now, we use some assumptions and the actual thing. Then for the gross profit margin, it's simply the gross profit margin is just the difference. It measures the difference between the revenue and the cost of goods sold. A higher gross profit margin indicates that the company is doing well. So how do we get it? Let me quickly insert a row here. So how do we get it? It's simply this gross profit divided by our revenue. Here's our gross profit. These are gross profits divided by our revenue. What's our revenue? Our sales. Expense ratio. Our total operating expense is this divided by our revenue. That's our sales in percent. Then net profit margin. Our expense ratio, it shows the portion of the revenue spent on the operating expenses. A lower ratio suggests that the company is doing well. And with this 15%, we know that the company is actually doing well. Then for our net profit margin, our net is this divided by our revenue, our sales. So EBT, we know our EBT now, earning before income and tax. EBT, earning before income and tax. Let's get to know the value of all this. Then target income. Let's say we are given a target and target income and a fixed budget. Now let's say okay, previous sales we have 1.115072047, and the target now is like okay, for the next month let's say we want a target of 1200000. I think mm, I think I should add another zero there. Assuming this is a target we want and we achieved this other target. This divided by this in percentage. So we achieved 96% of it. So what we'll do, we'll drag this. So forget about because there's nothing here. So now let's use a fixed percent. Let's say we want um a growth. If this is the previous sales, let's say we want a 10% increase. So let's say we want a 10% increase for every monthly sales. We want to be so optimistic, we want our sales to increase by 10%. So let's work with that. We'll now say equal to this times, open a bracket, 1 plus this. We'll now lock it and close. So that's 10% increase of this. So we can now drag everything down. So what he's saying, at every new month, we want a 10% increase of the previous month. For every new month, we want a 10% increase of a period. That's the target we are aiming for, the company is aiming for. So, and below is the target achieved. This one, they achieved a higher margin and the rest. So that's how it works. So for December 108. So same thing with our target expense. Maybe our previous expense, total operating expense was 16 point, 16.7. But we want to achieve a lower target. Let's say we want to achieve let's say this was the target we are aiming for. and this is what was achieved. So expense achieved is this divided by this. Mhm. So same thing. Let's so equal to we just do uh expense is previous expense, which is this times 1 minus this F4 will log. Okay, okay, the expense achieved. Okay, so yeah, this is good. So we copy down this so we won't be typing the formulas again. We have to copy, Control C, then paste the value so I won't have to be battling with all this again. Paste value. So now we are good. Now we can start building our dashboard. So we can see our is looking good. So now let's start with, since we are building now, let's start with something. Let me let me go with this. I think we have an empty space here. We can take this one off. Okay. Then we have our title here. So but for this, I want this data here. I want this data here. First to this. So we'll drag this down. Okay. Now we'll drag this down. Now, so oh, I've dragged more than necessary. So I think I've dragged more than necessary. Take these ones off. So this is what we want. Okay. So first we've gotten this. Let me just highlight this so that we will know. Let me just so I will differentiate. To be able to differentiate what we are working on, like all borders. So now there's a formula here. This we'll go to our developer option, click on the developer option, click on the this under controls, click on insert. You see under form control, you see combo box. You click on that combo box and come down and inside the combo box, draw the combo box that you want. Then for the combo box, you click on the combo box. You can see it's just a drop down menu. Well, let's edit the combo box. So click and do format control. Under format control, input range, asking for the input range. There is no input range, but before then, let me come for the input range because I want to select. So these are the input range. I want this January to December. So I'll come down and I'll paste. I told you about the paste option. So this time around, I'll transpose it to paste that way. I think we are good. So January to December. So now I'll now come to this. I'll now come to this and format control. Then for the aspect of input range, I want this input range. Then for the cell link, I want it to be here. That's the cell link. Uh, Click on this 3D shading and okay. So what will happen there? If I click on this, you can see January to give you January data. If I click on March, it will give this March data. Then coming back to our sales equals to, I'll now use the index formula. Index, select the arrays that we want. Index the whole arrays that we want, which is this. Then F4, comma. Then we'll use a match formula this time around. Then the lookup value that we want a lookup value for this, and the lookup array. This is the lookup array we are looking at, and we will lock it. The match type, we want an exact match. We'll close, and for the column, we want this as a column. I will now do our final closing. I will enter. So you see, how do we have 1.4 as 6? Let me look at the F2. Having F2 140. Where is our 140? April. Yes, we have in April. Let me go to January and see what's happening there. Says, oh, there's an error with my value. So this is where the error comes from. The index I selected. So this is what I should have done. This is equals to index. I should have selected this, which is what I'm doing now. Select this, lock it, comma. Then you can now put in your match formula, which is MAT, match formula, lookup value. This is the value we are looking for, comma, lookup array. This is the array that we are looking at. You lock it, F4, comma, what type of match? An exact match. We'll close this match, comma. Then the column index, we want it here. We want this column index. We'll now close the index formula. Yeah, I need to log this to F4. Okay. Okay. Now we are good. Now, what do we have then for the matrix? I'll just simply come here and change my, where's the gross profit margin? Gross profit margin, we'll change it to, it's not in a decimal. Okay. This is in a percent. Expense ratio, we change it to a percent, 15%. Then for net profit ratio, for EBT margin, 65%, change it to a percentage. Which other one do we have? This one we change it to a percentage. And for expense achieved, we change it to a percentage. I think we are good to go. Here we just have to reduce the numbers of our zero. So we reduce it to two significant figure, and we are good to go. It's looking good. Then for here, we now have, there's something I just like generating because of my the do not charge that I want to use. So it's a function called equals to max formula. I want a max formula for max number of sales. So for sales, this is what we have for sales. This is the max. We just the numbers. I want the maximum of this. and this is the max number of this. So, but I want, if I say max number and I close, it will give me the maximum number, and we see the maximum number from this data set is June. We have the maximum number of say 1.60 million for it. But I don't want just the max number. I want the max number multiplied by value. I want up to 25% increase of the max number, because it's for my donut chart. It's not necessary, but for the building of this dashboard, it's it's necessary to build a creative dashboard. So it's not part of the data. It's just something I generated. It's generic. So I'll now say from this mass number which I already have, I can now do multiply it by, you know, 1.25. That's 25% increase. So the maximum number multiplied by, so that same thing goes down to everything. Change it to percent. Change it to percent. Just do small for addition percent. Think we are good. Yeah. So we are good to go. Now we will have next, we will have our small for just so I'm getting data, gathering data for our dashboard creation. So I'll get another data for this my dashboard. There's a data I want for my dashboard. So I'll select the total expense. Where is our total expense? Here. Total operating expense. This is my total operating expense. So I'll say this total operating expense, which is this. Let me take this to, yeah, total operating expense, which is this. What is the total operating expense? And I have my total operating expense. And what other thing and revenue. Let me look at our sales. Okay, sales equals to our sales. So let me drag down to give us the sales. For total operating expense, I can drag down to also give us the total operating expense. So let me use one chart for this. Think so we can now use a dash. Let me click on insert and use a visual for it. So let me go to all charts and look at these are charts that we can use, but I don't want to. The tree map is looking okay for the total operating expense. The whole, so let me pick the tree map for this. So wouldn't be needing this. Wouldn't be needing this. So this is the total operating expense. So for this, I will format it, and I want the value. So the value is now shown, but and for the value, I want it as on the new line. So now it's looking okay. But there's nothing. I don't want it to be giving me a long figure. I just want a short format. So quickly come to general, add, and now come to use 0.00. That is what I want it to. I want it to be 0.00, let's say 1.7 million, 11.4 million. So that's what I want. Double comma. Then I'll put my quotes and I write me Leon. I'll close. I'll add. So we can see 115.07 million. So that is what showing. But things are million. It's I don't really want that million. Let me change it to just mhm. This is looking much better. So this is the total sales that was generated. So this is one of the charts we'll be using. So take note. Let me leave this here. So let me look at another data we could use. Which data we use? We could use another data here. Yeah, we've gotten this. There are other metrics that we are looking at, like for the ratios. Them that one is for the chart. So we can look at these ratios. We have the gross profit margin ratio, we have the expense ratio, and the rest. So let's look at this ratio and look at what we can do with them. So I've selected the gross profit margin ratio. Go to insert, go to recommended charts. So from recommended chart, go to all the charts. There's pie chart. Click on pie chart. Yes, let me look for. Then let's use a donut chart. So we've inputted a donut chart. We can take this off. Take the legend off. Then click on this. Control C, Control V, and paste. So Control V and paste. We paste it. So we can now do small editing on it. So we can change the color and change the tab. So these are what we could do with this. So we'll come that down to all those later. So now which other chart do we need? We need I need another one for my chart. I think a we need a let me look some of the metrics we could use. Um I think this will change here. Sorry. And total operating expense. It's too long. Can change it to total OPS. Then come here. So we'll still come to the editing of this. Control Z. So the other metrics we could look at. I'm looking at we have this here. We have let's look at the revenue. Revenue is this, which is our sales. Sorry, I keep using the revenue as it. So other metric we could look at are cost of goods. So which other one could we look at? We could look at total operating expense, which is this. And we could look at where's our tax? We could look at the tax. Sorry. We could look at the tax, which is this. We could look at the net income. Where's our net profit? Net profit. I think let's do is our interest okay? Which other metrics are we going to look at? Looking at those metrics. Mm, that's net profit, cost of goods sold. Okay, let's look at interest. We're looking at. So these are the charts we'll be looking at. Looking at okay, the what we could achieve with this as against the net profit. What sums up? So this simply we just drag this formula down to take us give us the sales. This we drag this, we will drag this also. So so let me click on all this and also insert, go to insert, insert recommended. Look at all charts. There are different type of chart we could use, but this time around I want to use a radar chart. We could see a radar chart. So I'll click on this radar. I'll use let me use this. No, yeah, I love this. So this is the chart. So I wouldn't be needed. So we can see the cost of goods sold, total operating expense. But we could change this total operating expense to total OPEX. Okay. Cost of goods sold, we could just change it to COGS. Okay. It's now looking better. But we'll do other editions when we go to the chart later. The chart title won't be needing it. So so these are charts that we'll be using. So there's another chart I would like us to look at. This is now let's add the total here. Total, just total. Total. So total is equal to it's just sum of this. So now we will click all this now, add another chart. We are looking at adding another chart. So we'll go to insert recommended. Mhm. Um, mm-mm. No. Wow, yeah, this is looking more okay. So I'll use a waterfall chart. So for this, we'll take this out. For this, I won't be needing the legend. For this, I won't be needing it either. So for this, I'll format and set this as total. Okay, format detail label. Then for this, we I want the number to just show, not this number. I want remember what I told you earlier, 0.00 double comma, then just want it like that. So I do add. So you see, think we are good with this. So we see the chart, the map of our sales, our cost of goods, the tax, the operating expense, the interest, and the net profit. So this, think here we are good to go. So we are we are good. So we've gotten everything we need on this one. I'll now build our chart. So as we go to our chart, on the next video, we'll watch how this chart was. So we've gotten everything, all the charts we need for building our dashboard. So on the next slide, we will build our dashboard together. Thank you.